discipline is easy. I've never heard a statement I disagree with more. I think what is difficult to discern and what confuses a lot of people, especially me for a long time, is mixing discipline with motivation. Because when I'm feeling motivated, I can do anything, right? The willpower to get after a goal is there when you need it. But with actual discipline, I think the simple answer is this: you need to have systems in place that allow you to do these sorts of things. I'll give you an example. So when it comes to getting up early, right? I have a hard time with that. I'm not naturally a morning person. And the one thing that got me to do it every single morning, the thing I woke up in order to do, that I was quote unquote motivated to do, was go over to my desk and mark off my tally sheet. So, the tally sheet itself doesn't have any specific intrinsic value to it. It's just a notebook with some marks in it. But something about that repeated action every day compelled me to create the same habit over and over again. And I found that when I stopped using it, when I tried to just wake up at that point on sheer willpower alone, then it didn't quite work so well. So I think instead of trying to fight this uphill battle in every day of your life in order to get the things done that you want to accomplish, make them a part of your natural state of being in a way that doesn't require motivation at all. There is a reason all sorts of cultures and societies around the world across time have utilized the convention of ritual, right? Rituals in all forms, whether they be religious or in graduation ceremonies or birthday parties. These things are a series of actions that are meant to evoke an effect, to create an effect, a feeling that people have. And human beings are creatures of habit, and the way our brains are wired, we function best when we tend to do the same thing over and over. And I don't mean that ad nauseum where your life becomes a boring Groundhog Day repetition of the same actions, but I think there should be a general foundation that you aim to do every day, a protocol or a contingency plan that you have when things go awry, that you know you can fall back on without having to think too much about it. Because, at least for me, the biggest problems I run into, especially with discipline, come when something happens. Life throws a curveball and suddenly I have to course correct on the fly. And if I'm not prepared to do that, then I'm not going to, right? I listened to this great lecture earlier today, and one of the key pointers that came up was the notion that no one wakes up in the morning with the idea that they're going to do everything in their power to be counterproductive, right? But that's what happens naturally. Like we repeat the same actions that encourage bad behavior. So we really need to break down the core of what's causing that and reroute those circuits in a way. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Just tiny steps at a time, I think, are the most important thing. I did a video yesterday talking about the analogy of a plane changing direction by inches, and this can completely change the trajectory of where it's going to land. And so if you just approach life in that same way, I think it's going to have a profound difference, or at least a positive impact. Anyways, that's all I got for this evening. I hope you have a great night and stay on it. You got this. I believe in you.